and welcome back to the Irish Hunting Podcast, the number one place for your hunting, fishing and country sports stories from around the world. Stick on the kettle, crack open a beer, put up the feet, relax and enjoy. Hello, and welcome back to episode 111 of the Irish Hunting Podcast. This week, it's all about the dogs. Rob and I sit down and discuss some of the issues we face with our own dogs, how we're overcoming them, our plans for the season, and what lies ahead. This episode was brought to you by Game Cooling Ireland for all your game cooling and preparation needs. For further details, check out gamecooling.ie. Enjoy this one, folks. What's happening, buddy? We're back. How are you?
I'm all good, buddy.
You're suffering a bit of a dose.
Yeah, there's a bad dose going around.
There is, man.
I was away last week in those cabins in Cavan and I had it then, but it hasn't really shifted.
No, you can still hear the brother actually is dying as well. There's really bad doses going. He's had it now since the shooting. You were a little bit unwell at the shooting as well. We were a bit of a cough in you.
No,
No?
it was actually all right.
Okay.
But I noticed Keith.
Yeah. He's finding it hard to shift it. It's just the weather's a bit mad, isn't it?
Yeah. But to me, it's not a bad dose.
No. Much of moving.
I'm just feeling sorry for myself a little bit.
We're only back for a little bit of a shoot there, which we'll discuss on another on our next episode. We're going to keep that for our Sika stalking episode. We're going to talk a little bit about dogs today. I just want to admire, what are we calling him? Wobbly Willie?
Wobbly Willie, yeah.
So we're sitting here in front of, in Rob's front sitting room, and we're admiring his fine red stag here, Irish red. Beauty.
And we just learned that Rob has been cutting the back of the heads off all sorts of wrong.
A little bit crooked. Yeah.
So we got new plaques, fine plaques, and I'm after getting 3 of the non-roundy head.
Yeah,
what do you call them?
I think we're calling them flared.
Flared plaques.
Yeah.
Oak plaques. And we were going to fit them there, but we have to come up with another idea because I've cut the backs off completely wrong.
Yeah, we'll fix that. And you've your fine Sika head over there. We're getting measured next week.
Next week, I just have to make contact
with Larry.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can't wait to see just the whole process around that. That'll be cool.
Yeah, and he's after saying that we can do a podcast of how they're measured, and it's supposed to be fairly like step by step.
Brilliant.
That you can nearly do it at home yourself and get a rough idea. Is it in the medal area? And then bring it in for official.
Brilliant.
Measuring. So
can't wait for that, actually.
That's it. That tickles anyone.
Yeah.
Some people don't care about it, but to be honest, I never really cared about it. But that one is particularly nice, and people have sent in messages saying that they think it is some sort of medal class. So we're trying to do 2 things at once: do a podcast on it, so new people into the sport understand what's involved in it, and I might get a medal.
Yeah. The minute I've seen it, I'll no more than if I shot one myself, I can remember when I first kind of noticed that that the gate up it, and we have a picture of it, you holding it, and I was there like, oh my God, that's.
I didn't even.
Sometimes when you go over for it, like you see, you think it's big and stuff, but then because you're dragging it, you're like, oh, we just get across here, up and down, and then.
It's only when you said it to me that I don't think you realise how big that is.
Yeah.
And then we put up a couple of pictures and people were writing in. I was like, oh yeah, maybe it is. And we're looking here now at the moment. I have a hybrid stag next to it and the Sika stag. And the Sika is bigger. Not in skull size, it's obviously smaller in skull, but the antlers are bigger and thicker. And even the weight.
The weight was,
there's a big difference.
Yeah. It's a fine head.
We'll let people know how we get on with that.
Yeah, absolutely. Can't wait for that, man.
Yeah.
We've had a couple of days dog training now over the last while.
Yeah. I think as hunters, it's not trialing men, they're training all year.
Yeah.
But a lot of hunters including myself, get ready for the first. Don't do a whole lot with the dog, do you mean, through the year, and then expect the dog to be able to perform. And when he doesn't, then I'm tick. Well, I should be tick at myself.
Yeah.
Because I haven't put in the work with the dog.
Yeah, and similar to that, obviously, this is my probably first time training a dog, you know, with a little bit of help from yourself. And even when I got her last year, I should have, like, in hindsight now, but it's more about training myself now than the dog. And there was a couple of, but it's good because these are the issues everyone kind of faces. So it's going to be, hopefully, this will help a little bit. You know, as I'm going through problems with my dog, you're going through problems with your dog, we'll be able to show little tips and tricks that you've learned from your father-in-law and stuff you've learned yourself, and we can hopefully help pass down. So I think I had asked you, going back a week or two, even when Millie was out on the first, she's hunting. And this is one of the things. So when I was bringing her out, she was hunting, as I thought, close enough beside me. But as you probably pointed out, once the game is introduced, then they automatically start to pull that little bit further ahead.
Yeah. And then once a bird is shot, if the dog doesn't stop and decides to rush in and can't find the bird and keeps on pulling on, then it's scaring other game, either to fly away or to run ahead.
Yeah.
So, and once that starts, then it's very hard to get the dog to stop that habit.
Yeah.
I mean, now when I say it's grand if there's only myself and yourself going shooting, but if you wanted to go to a shoot day or you were organising something a little bit bigger, and all of a sudden your dog or my dog is the dog to run ahead and flush all the game.
Yeah, you'd be
fucking fairly thick with yourself.
Yeah. And then, as you say, you probably end up taking it out with a dog where it's not really the dog's fault. It's the dog's only doing what it thinks it's been trained to do, you know. Yeah. So the issue with my dog was, well, there's a couple. One was I didn't have it on the whistle.
And you didn't at the time particularly want it on the whistle.
Yeah.
Or you didn't probably know how to put it on the whistle?
No, I bought a whistle that that's right. And then I got out in the field and I was there like, I don't actually know how to teach my dog how to know what I want of it. What command. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So talk us through a little bit at the basic of it, like how we started the other day, so essentially.
Right, so I'm going to caveat all this with, I'm not a bleeding dog trainer.
No, I know.
There's plenty of lads that if you want your dog trained, you should send your dog to them. Lads are sending in messages saying, would we run classes or meetups? I don't think you've no interest in that, do you?
No, well, I wouldn't be even in the league if even offering advice. I'm only...
And neither would I, to be honest.
Further on than I am.
Right. But we also don't have the time for that.
Yeah.
Because we're flat out between our own jobs and trying to do this jazz. But I appreciate the messages.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? So how we started the other day moving the dog onto the whistle was, and you probably thought I was being a bit of a flute, right? I said put the dog on the lead.
Yeah.
Because there's no point just blowing the whistle and thinking that the dog is going to associate the whistle with what you want. So you have to teach it to associate it with your verbal and physical commands. And what I mean by that is, if you say, whatever you say, sit, hup, and you've taught the dog that, grand. Then you teach the dog on the lead, when you say sit and blow the whistle, it means the same thing. And you practice repetition. And then slowly you stop saying sit and you just blow the whistle. And he will sit.
Yeah.
Because he's learning by association.
Yeah.
You can also do the same with your hand. So you do all three things at once. So we started saying the word sit, blowing the whistle and raising your hand. So now all three of those things are associated with the sit.
And we were giving her a little bit of physical in terms of pulling back a little bit on the lead.
Yeah, so if she wasn't getting it, we'd give her a little tug. Yeah, but we stopped that fairly lively because she's actually quite a clever dog.
Yeah.
She genuinely is. She picked it up quicker than I thought she was going to pick it up.
Yeah.
Because she's 2 now. She's never even, doesn't know what a whistle is.
Yeah.
So that's how we moved her onto the whistle for the sit.
Yeah.
Yeah. Now, the sit at distance when she's out is obviously going to be more of a challenge because she's used to when she's out there doing her own thing.
Yeah.
Especially if there was game around.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? So there's a big difference you being able to getting your dog to sit a distance in the front garden. Now you put that dog in a hunting situation where there's scent, flushing birds, and now you're saying, here, stop, when she's in the middle of battle.
Yeah.
It would be a different story.
Yeah, and it's like you've seen her when she's on scent. She changes demeanour, so she gets really low to the ground, tail starts to wag, and nose is buried, and so she's in a different world. Once she's like, I could call her, she comes straight back. Like she'll keep well within range, but once the scent is introduced, she kind of goes into her own little world a little bit. You know, so
Yeah.
it's like as if, oh, now.
Yeah, so she has the drive.
Yeah.
Yeah, and she has good eyes for marking. Like she's
very good. Yeah,
she's a lot of positives. If you can just control that wanting to hunt. So she wants to be. You want her to be hunting with you, not hunting for herself.
And the thing is, so we got obviously to sit. Then we started we let her off a little bit, and we had to sit at a slight bit of distance. You know.
Yeah.
So and that was a good tip or trick. Was to sit, the hand up and the whistle all at one time. So we let her out a little bit and sit, but automatically once I blew the whistle, she wanted to come back to me.
Yeah.
So you did this movement of kind of rushing out to her, sit, like not in a more of a commanding.
Yeah, you're just holding. You don't want to sound like a sausage here, it's not an aggressive way, but you're holding space. Let's call it. So you're moving towards the dog fast, and the dog will 9 times out of 10. Automatically go, what the fuck? And it will sit down.
So now it associates that with...
Yeah, and then lots of praise.
Yeah.
When it does the right thing.
Yeah.
So when she got the hang of that, we had to do that a couple of times, and then we were blowing the whistle, and she was sitting, and as soon as she does that, huge deal about her.
Yeah.
This is what I want.
Yeah.
Yeah. So lots of praise. That's what I think.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's different people have different trains of thought. And like I'm an amateur, go talk to, like I say, the professional lads. And I remember my first dog, Kylie, I sent off to be trained. And your man did a super job, but I had no
ideas how to impose that. Yeah.
Yeah, and how to handle the dog. Like your man spent, I don't know, it could have been 3 months training this dog. And then he spent 5 minutes with me. Listen, it can do this, this, and this. Right, see you later. Now we did a super job in the dog, but he should have done a super job in me.
Yeah.
And the only reason I've learned Ed is just from sitting back and watching the really boys.
Yeah.
Who know what they're at.
And then so we were interchanging. We'll talk about Finn and Bua in a second. So we introduced a small bit of games. We had some dead game with us. And what we wanted to do then was create a little bit of sense. So we wanted to try and hop her when
mid-scent.
Mid-scent. So that was a little bit more difficult because she was, she likes it when she's on game.
But you expect it to be difficult because we know that they're the challenges. Like she's 2 now, so for 2 years, she's allowed to do this.
Yeah.
And now we're asking right now, stop that.
Yeah.
And this is what I want.
Yeah.
And you're only a good girl if you do what I want.
Yeah, yeah.
And so we knew that was going to be a struggle. But she did get it.
She did get it. Yeah, and that's a work in progress. And I actually, which I'll talk about in a minute, I probably did something wrong in that I went out with another lad a couple of days after that hunting, and I probably shouldn't. I should have spent more time just on my own. But look, that's all part and parcel of it. But yeah, she got so again, we had a bit of dead game, buried in a bit of cover. Then we let her off, and then once we knew she was on the scent. We wanted her to hope, so that you can get up close to her and then drive on again. And that took a little bit of, again, the whistle hand and that kind of sudden movement. And that's probably the biggest thing is you're trying to do all these things and this is more from my perspective than the dogs. The dog's probably looking at, this lad's not doing these in even the right series, you know.
He's having a stroke over there.
Fucking whistle, hand, movement, you know. And then we were actually throwing a bit of game, shooting at it.
Yeah.
And trying to get her to mark with, and then hold her.
So, this is where we're wrong. We should have just went out and concentrated on the first part, the hook, on the lead, and drill, and left her. Maybe drill for 15 minutes, then put her. Now, we did sort of do that. We put her away, took her back out. So, we were giving her breaks. But I think on that particular day, we tried to achieve too
much in time. Yeah.
Now, she was picking it up, but there's no way she's going to hold all that.
No.
So, a lot of people think, I've taught the dog to sit at distance. So that's it. It has it now, but never have to go near that again. I'm sorry to tell you, the best of dogs will break.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? So you constantly have to
reinforce that.
And it's all right to go back to basics.
Yeah.
I often go back. Like I have the lab at commanding him at distance. But when he starts getting unsure of himself or starts making a mess, he goes back on the lead. And we start off at basics again.
Yeah.
Yeah. Stop when I tell you to stop. Heel. Small retrieves back in on the whistle.
So you're just reminding them of all the things that you expect of him, rather than fucking getting upset with him when he's 300-meter retrieve. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. So they're clever.
Yeah.
They do know what to do, and when they're next to you, they'll do it.
Yeah.
But when they get out 300 odd meters, might as well have that whistle up my hole sometimes. Yeah. Because they know. I don't say. He's all the way down there. Blow the whistle. I'm smarter than you. I know the bird's over here, you. So I like to bring it back, and I've always been told, bring it back to basics.
Yeah.
It's all right to try these long stuff every now and again, but 9 times out of 10, I keep it relatively short. Yeah. Then you move the dog on to, which he got no problem, the come in whistle.
Yeah.
Yeah, which is, instead of one long whistle blast, it's like a couple of pips.
Yeah.
Quick. And we didn't even have to do it. You did that and she came running into you.
Yeah.
I was like, all right, that's handy.
Yeah, so we've kind of have some of the basics, but that I like what you said. That needs just more and more reinforcement from my perspective. And of course, now I'm doing it mid-season. I don't really mind. Once I'm out, either with a dog or I'm out hunt, I'm happy anyway. So it doesn't. I actually went out the following day. It was lashing rain that evening, and I just went up. I couldn't even see if something got up in front of me because the rain was beating off me glasses and stuff. But I was just literally had her working on the whistle, just getting her used to bringing back to me, sitting, stopping, and then as she was. Now, I felt like, I don't know, the Pied Piper sometimes, because as she was going, like she was trying to stretch out the distance more than I wanted her to do. I was like, tune, and automatically, she wouldn't even look back, but she'd pull back in, do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Quarter back, and then, so it was like this the whole evening. I was nearly, my two cheeks were met, do you know? But I think, from my perspective, I thought it was good in that she's now relating some of, not all of it, obviously, some of what I'm trying to get her to do through the whistle, do you know?
Yeah. Like if you were being honest, and if I was being honest, how many times a year do you think you should bring the dog out before the season?
10 times more than I brought her out.
Yeah.
Do you know?
Yeah. And then you wouldn't be facing the problems that not just me and you are facing, most hunters,
yeah,
aren't 100% happy with their dog.
Yeah.
Where if you spent a bit of time, like maybe 2 days a week.
Yeah.
I'm not saying fucking full days, like half an hour or an hour,
yeah.
Go.
But funny, if you actually said that was one of the things where, like, I see you with Finn and Boo, like, you'll do 15 minutes, 20 minutes maybe of work, training, and then you let them go play. Do you know what I mean? So it's like, it's not over. It's like a child, they get pissed off if you're
I believe that. There's others will say, no, you'll work for as long as I want you to work.
Yeah.
But I do find that, let's say, the black lab, his pace will drop off.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? He'll give me other indications where he might drop the old dummy. And I don't want him to get in the habit of that. So I have so I have to meet a balance of I leave it on a high note.
Yeah.
So I've pushed them as far as I'm right. Stop. Grand.
Funny enough, just as you mentioned that, remember we had one of the dead game, and we had a retrieve with the dead game.
Yeah.
And Millie started to get pissed off with it. She was like, "This is not range one. I know these are only dead game."
Yeah.
So what she did was she picked it up, and normally, as you like videos of her, like automatically brings game right to my feet. Like loves to, but after 3 or 4 times she picked it up and then she was coming back to me and she just veered over about 2 meters away, 3 meters away, and just dropped it there, went off. But in other words, I've no real interest in this thing now anymore. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
This thing's fooling me. You know.
So you have to either not let it get to that stage or address it if it gets to that stage. So I'd rather not let it get to that stage.
Yeah.
That's just me.
Yeah, definitely. She was really interested at the start because she didn't realise that this wasn't live. You know, but like I could see her point. You know what I mean? Is they're throwing a dead piece of bird up in front of me. Like, let's get on some real stuff here. You know,
we've played this game.
Yeah, exactly.
But I genuinely think that you can bore a dog. Let's say if you're just doing, I don't know, pick fucking marked retrieves, and you're going to have to do 50 marked. So how many times is the dog going to do before it goes right? I have a pain in my ball. Like us, if you keep us stimulated, once you go left, once you go right, come in. Yeah, that's what I think. But
one of the things, the positives, or a couple of the positives, is you rightly said, she's a great indicator. You know, she gives great indication of when she's on scent. I think that's probably getting to know your own dog as well. Different, like Bua reacts completely different than Millie.
Completely different. He doesn't indicate. Like if you were hunting with him, you probably wouldn't even recognise he's on a scent. It's only because I've been with him now for a while. I'm like, oh no, watch here now. But nowhere near as obvious as your dog.
My one goes flat to the ground and starts to literally hug the ground, you know.
It's like one of them electric robot hoovers.
Yeah, just straight down. And then, so you kind of know, which is good. That was one of the positives. And the second one is great at marking, even, following the shot.
Yeah.
You know, even if she doesn't see it, she's good at following the shot, you know.
Yeah.
She's automatically, so like just a lot of positives to work on. Probably, look, it's one of them things where I'm probably learning midstream. So it's going to take, a couple of dogs to, unfortunately, teach me. That's just going to be the way.
There's so much to learn. Like, I haven't even scratched the surface of what I need to learn.
Yeah.
Like, I suppose a lot of handlers wouldn't understand the different types of winds and how your dog is supposed to work them winds. And even if you do know, you fucking forget because you're out and you've changed direction and now the wind's coming from behind you.
Yeah.
And you're still hunting your dog.
Yeah.
You always hunt your dog.
Yeah.
So...
Yeah, and that's a huge, like that. I remember on one of the trials, I remember watching, and the dog completely changes once we had, we had gone up one end of the field and come back and turned, and the handler. That was my first experience with working the wind, but yeah, it's a minefield. Then we'll talk, I suppose, a little bit about Bua, how he's coming on.
Yeah, so I think he's coming on well.
Very well.
Like he was hunting the ground there the other day. Like he was covering ground. He doesn't have the pace. Like he's never going to be a trialing dog. He'll be a good shooting dog.
Yeah.
But I don't think he has the pace, and I actually don't know how he increased the pace. Of a dog. Maybe it's with a pen, with game, and small stints, because the type of, like, we walked for hours. It's unfair to ask one dog to go at that pace.
Yeah. Now, devil's advocate here, right? So this is coming from a fool here, right? But we may have talked about this loads of times in the car, but about the different type, like for rough shooting. Like a trial dog is not going to cut it in rough unless you have a stable of them. You know what I mean?
Stable, you swap them in and out.
In and out. But like, again, for most hunters, that's not probably feasible either. Maybe you might have one or two. Maybe will be the average hunter. And there's a lot of people like ourselves who've won. Do you know?
Yeah.
So you're kind of caught betwixt and between where you know, high stamina dog will hunt every inch of every blade of grass for every field.
Yeah.
That's not going to
Last all day.
all day. So then now you're out maybe 2-3 hours at that kind of pace, and then your day is over.
You're asking a sprinter to keep up the pace of a
Marathon, yeah.
Like,
yeah.
It's not going to happen.
So that's the thing. Is take for Bua. Have you decided what way you're going to go with? Yeah.
I say I've zero interest in trying it. Like I said near the start,
Yeah.
we are busy enough.
Yeah, that's a full-time job.
Yeah, man, they put in
Huge
serious hours.
Yeah.
With their dogs, and then they have to travel to the length and breadth of the country to enter these trials.
Yeah.
And you could be there fucking 10 minutes, 5 minutes, and your dog's out, and then you got to drive 3-4 hours back.
Yeah.
Like, it's heartbreaking stuff.
Yeah.
But
that's the thing where, like, you watch some dogs and they're hunting heavy cover, like ballistic.
Yeah.
And then I would say, if I take my own dog, Millie, she'll hunt the fringes, and only if she picks up scent will she. Now, there's the other side of that, where she could be leaving game behind her if the wind is not correct and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
But then it's kind of, which one do I want? You know, I can be, like, I could go out for, as you know, same as yourself, we could be out for 5-6 hours, you know. But if she's hunting every inch of the first couple, like, it's heavy cover up there, we could be home by 9 o'clock, you know what I mean?
Yeah, but I will argue the opposite of, right, I don't want her to cover every piece of cover, as in all the ditch, but if I decide, check here.
You want her in there?
I want her to go in and check here. Because I'm not saying I'm smarter than the dog, because the dog has a better nose, but the wind could be going against the dog, so it can't sense on the wrong side of the wind. And I've seen a pheasant run in here.
Yeah.
It's something as simple as that. Go in here, and if the dog decides no, well, now we're not working together.
So talk us through how do you
cast the dog?
Yeah. Cast first, and then how? Yeah.
So, right. All right, now you put me on the spot here.
I know.
But so how I started with these casting was with food. Right? A lot of people say don't use food, but if I've taught the dog to sit, grand. Dog sit. I'll get 2 bowls. I'll put one out to the left and to the right of the dog. I'll put a tiny piece of, I don't know, ham, let's pick, in each one. And I will stand in front of the dog and I will give a hand signal, let's say, to the one on the right.
Yeah.
Now, normally, they actually will go to the one that you've but let's say they don't. You do that sharp movement. No. And give a verbal, no. Stop them again. Back out to the one on the right. They will get it. And they're happy to get it because they're getting a reward at the end.
Yeah.
Then you do the one on the left. And that's how I start casting. Grand. Now I can cast the dog.
Yeah.
Let's say the ditches. Right. I will let the dog hunt the ditch. I'll have a tennis ball. This is going to be a little bit sick. I'll spit on the tennis ball and rub it in for scent. I'll let the dog hunt the ditch. It hasn't found anything. The dog has now moved on. I'll throw in the tennis ball. I'll bring the dog back, tell it to get in. So I'm smarter. No, get in here, because I've said get in again.
Yeah.
And it gets what it wants. Grand. And I will do that, not just in ditches, but in fields.
Yeah. So what you're basically saying is, the dog is saying, like, looking at you kind of saying, I've already hunted here, there's nothing in there. You fool. I don't want to go. And she'll try, or he will try to go back about his business. And you said, no, in you go.
Yeah.
And then what you're essentially saying, sometimes I actually know what I'm doing. You know what I'm saying? So you're building that kind of, that partnership, the trust, you know? Yeah.
So it's learning that, when he tells me to do something, I normally get a reward out of it.
Yeah.
And if I don't, I know there's a reward coming eventually.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. So it's a what's the thinking behind not rewarding?
Not reward, like with food?
Yeah, with food, yeah.
So it can...
Or with I know we talked about earlier with loads of praise. There's some...
most people do give praise when the dog does the right thing. Some people will say, no, don't give it food. For an example, right, when you're teaching the dog to present as a young dog, So it's after doing the retrieve, it's coming back into you. You might, if you are trying to do that with food, the dog could get into a habit of spitting out the dummy or the game to get its reward.
Yeah.
Now it's counterproductive.
Yeah.
That's teaching the dog with food.
Yeah.
And I learned that the hard way. So I don't use food for retrieve rewards.
Okay.
Yeah, I might, after 1 or 2 retrieves, I might give a reward of a free dummy.
Yeah.
I'll throw a dummy and let it just chase it break.
Yeah.
Now some people will say, you're teaching the dog to break. And they could be fucking right.
Right, yeah.
But that's what I do. And I
Yeah.
don't. Now watch, I fucking have to touch wood here somewhere. I don't, at the moment, have a problem with any of them breaking.
Yeah.
So
I suppose that's about knowing your own dog too, isn't it? They're because they all have different, I presume, they've different behavioural traits, they've different characteristics, like different characters. What do you call it? What's that called? Personalities, yeah.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
100%. But I'm going to go back to what I said at the start. There's lads that are tried and tested. They've produced dog after dog after dog, and they have a system.
Yeah.
So if they
regardless of personalities,
they are producing dogs.
Yeah.
Yeah, the top dog handlers, and everyone knows who they are in the country.
Yeah.
So I won't start naming names, but they can produce a dog, whatever system they're using.
Yeah. There's a foundation there. It's a layer system, and they'll use that.
Yeah.
I presume there'll be intricacies in that. With if a dog is slightly more,
bullheaded,
exactly, yeah,
more timid,
yeah.
But we have to adapt. But the
foundation's all the same. Yeah.
And like, who am I to say anything? I'm only telling you what I do here in my own house.
Look, the most dogs, or a lot of the dogs will have, as similar to my dog, will have the kind of the basics. I think what we're saying probably here is that the trainer, ourselves, or the handler, sometimes need more training than the dog itself. You know what I mean? And I speak for myself on that.
And if you can get in, the key thing is to get in with people that are willing to depart with knowledge.
Yeah.
I mean, that even if you have to pay to go to classes, it's well worth it. But if you can get in with our group, I was fortunate enough to get in with a group of lads who weren't afraid to talk me through stuff.
Yeah.
So,
and some of them trials, they're very welcoming to guests and stuff.
Yeah.
Like, go along, because we said it before. I've McAllister there as well. I think they do actually training days, introductory days,
they do, yeah,
all that kind of stuff.
And they're crying out for young blood like to bring in the younger generation.
And I think even if you're not going to trial,
if
you're not going to trial, I'd still recommend that people go to those type of days.
100%. Even if you just have a house dog and you want it to be mannerly.
Yeah.
So you want it to, there's no on the couch, get down, heel. You want, going on a walk. You see around the village here, some people's dogs are bringing the people for a walk.
Yeah.
And that would drive me bananas. Where if you went to these, like North Tip, gun dogs do open days for people, and they'll talk you through how to do some of this stuff. And then it's on you if you put in the effort or not to do it.
Yeah.
And you can have your dog at heel and go for an enjoyable walk.
Yeah. And there's nothing, like, it might seem like a simple thing, but like that trial day probably started my journey into, it was the first time, where I started to think about actually actively training my own dog and starting to learn and so on. And that's 2 years ago now, but over 2 years ago. But what I mean is, I probably, loads of that stuff went over my head, but I kind of knew what I wanted, the end game to look like,
Yeah.
How I was going to get there is obviously a different thing. But at least if you can see what's possible, then you can start saying, well, how do I teach it that?
Yeah.
How do I, like you said, how do I cast? Or how do I get it to stop on when it's on scent, all these type of things. So you're actually starting to ask the question. That's the first step of learning, it's to know what's possible. Because if you're looking at something blind and you're just watching it, you don't actually know half what's going on until you go into one of these trial situations where you can actually see it repetitively. You know what I mean?
And I'm going to be honest, people have explained tailwinds and cheek winds to me for years. And I was nodding, got you.
Yeah.
But I didn't. because you don't know what you don't know,
Yeah.
right? And I was out one day and I seen it. Actually, one of the lads let me walk behind him and he was doing it and I got to see it. And only then I went, right, now I got you.
Talk us through a little bit of that just for the wins.
A tailwind.
Yeah.
So tailwind is, it's not coming into your face, it's coming at the back of your head.
Yeah.
So the handler will walk and then, right, this is what I've seen.
Yeah.
They can walk slow, let the dog out. So the dog goes out a little bit further and then hunts back into the wind.
Yeah.
Yeah. Or the handler can walk and stop. The dog goes out, comes back to walk. The handler will walk and stop. So I've seen different ways of it being done. But the main premise of it is the dog goes out and hunts back towards you.
Yeah.
Instead of the dog hunting in front of you into the wind.
In the opposite to as there would be in a headwind.
Yeah.
You know? So yeah. And then cheek winds obviously when it's coming from
left to right, or and then you hunt. You can't see me, but I'm doing a zigzag finger.
Left to right.
Like that. If people want to learn that stuff, they should go and seek proper advice how you teach a dog how to do it.
Yeah, and this is just an overview of what's kind of an add-on to what's possible with the dogs, because there's a lot of, like I would see a lot of ads up now at the minute, you know, looking to shift dogs, and you know, obviously what I think what happens is a lot of the time there is genuine cases where people are training dogs and selling them and so on, but a lot of people would, and I see this around a good bit, in that probably exactly what we said there, spend very little time with them during the summer, come out in the first, this dog shit, I need a dog, and he could, you know.
Yeah. Any trained dogs?
Trained dogs, and start the whole process all over again. And like, I can tell you now, the little bit I'm doing, it's hugely rewarding. My dog is not going to be the best dog, not even close to it, but that's not her fault. It's going to be mine. And my plan is to try and make myself better. That I'm thinking about how we're actually talking about either breeding her or getting another dog, and trying to create a small little stable myself, you know, 2 or 3 dogs, and that'll be my aim, and to improve my own skill set.
There's a saying that's been said to me now for years: you'll ruin more dogs before you make one.
Yeah.
And it's all your own mistakes.
Yeah.
I mean, like, you will ruin the dog because you don't fully know what you're doing.
Exactly. You come out and you watch me. You said to me, do what you normally do. Sure, like, you're probably looking, what is this for that? No, but do you know what I mean? Because like that, I have taught the dog the way I think.
Yeah.
You know, but it's only when somebody else said, like, try this, you know, that makes fucking sense. Do you know what I mean?
And even if they say it to you, like, only when I moved at the dog, you went, oh yeah, I forgot, I can actually move here. That makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then it was like, we were throwing the game, shooting it, getting her to stop, hook, whistle, you know, all at the one time. So it was like learning to dance. But no, it was very worthwhile. I think hopefully people pick a few tips out of this. But if you don't, that's what I would recommend. Go and have a little peep at what's possible. You know, we'll continue to throw up a few more videos anyway. Hopefully they help a little bit.
Yeah. I wasn't sure if what we're doing is actually helping anyone, but people have sent in messages looking for more. Can you put up an online class, stuff like that? But unless there's a huge want for it, I mean, and I probably wouldn't have the confidence or knowledge to do that. I'd get someone else to do that for us. But if there's something, if enough people are interested in it, and I thought that it would bring the youth into our sport, then I'd make the effort to do that. Yeah, no, definitely. I think it's like we're all crying out for stuff for our kids to be active. Like, I mean, as you say, even if you didn't hunt, imagine being, because a lot of trials people don't hunt. Yeah. They don't, just there's a lot of people they don't shoot, they just into dogs. And then even if you want your kids to get out, you can, actually I want to talk to you now in a sec. See the way Bob was tweeting at the same time. You can get your kids out, and part of these trial days, like stoppers or the little kids with the flags, flushing game the right direction. Like, so you can still be a part of the field sports without actively hunting. If that's not your gig, yeah. So on that, go on. No, that's a great lead in. uh, Paul Callan was on to us.
Yeah.
And we don't know exactly how we're going to do it, but he reached out. He's mad into getting youth
Yeah.
involved, which is great.
Yeah.
Yeah, because we're sort of selfish enough creatures because we're caught up in what we're doing.
Yeah.
I mean,
Well,
all of us. So if you have someone actively trying to bring in the younger generations, I can only think it's a great thing, and I think we'll get behind it 100%.
Yeah.
He's talking about a shoot day for younger people. Now, we're still trying to work out the kinks, what younger people means.
Yeah.
Because you have to have your own firearms license. You have to be insured. All this type of jazz. And then how we select people from what counties. Is it going to be one from each county? So Paul runs the shoot over on Lambay Island. So then obviously there's logistics about boats, so we can't have too many. If there's minors and parents have to come, that's obviously double figures.
Yes, yeah.
So we're still trying to work that out, but hopefully we'll have something nailed down for the end of this season.
Yeah.
For a group of not minors, but younger.
Yeah. Could be like, could be younger, could be people starting off, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You know?
Like Sean. That came out on the
that's what I'm saying, yeah.
Like, he would be a perfect,
yeah.
Yeah. He shot his first pheasant. He went out.
Yeah.
I watched him, not a bother. Safety
wise, yeah.
He'd be a perfect candidate. If whatever way it's going to be run.
Yeah, so that like, it would be somebody, obviously, like, we're going to have to look, there's logistics here, so we have to look at people, obviously, with insurance and the correct licenses, all that kind of stuff. That's, you know, a given. And then, obviously, we have to try and plan that around, you know, at the, as you said, if they're youths, there's child welfare aspects and so on and so forth to be encountered. So
I was actually supposed to ring Paul yesterday. I was on duty the day before, so I couldn't talk to him yesterday. I said, I'll give you a buzz. We'll ring him after this.
Yes.
And we'll start nailing that down.
Yeah. Because we've a trip over there ourselves, so we'll be planning fairly soon.
In February,
Yeah. That will not come.
That's going to rock around very quick.
Yep.
Yeah.
Right. So that's a nice finish to that. And on our next episode, we have a couple of things. We've some Seeker stalking coming up, and to talk about.
Yeah, we have obviously the skull marking system.
Yeah.
We have Neil on from South Africa.
Yes.
Talk us through conservation work in South Africa and hunting in South Africa.
Yeah.
And hopefully he's going to help us set up our hunting trip. Come on, babe.
Yeah.
To South Africa.
Yeah, that's we've a few things in motion there at the minute. So
that is the pinnacle of my dream.
I know. The thing is, when you go there, where to next? You know, funny enough, like I was telling you, I was talking to a taxi man on Saturday, and then he's from Romania, and he was telling me the problem with black bear, is it black bear over there? I think.
Yeah.
A bear anyway.
Yeah.
In Romania, and his friend is a guide over there who hunts bear and
it's a small little
boar, isn't it?
So basically, if you see two lads rocking bear jackets with the skulls and all
skulls
on
hanging over the head,
that's out stalking.
Yeah, exactly, exactly. But look, that's there's loads of stuff we'll be doing, and we have to get down to Lakelands next week as well. We have to chat about my rifle, the logistics of when and where that's landing.
Yeah, I have to return the thermal imager that they gave me all of. So yeah, there's a lot.
We have our taxidermist, East Coast Taxidermy. We have
Paddy Smith is doing me up a knife, so I'm going to give you a video on that.
Oh, wait till you see this.
Now,
yeah,
I'm a little bit excited about this.
It is. Yeah.
So Paddy did. It was one of the knives for the raffle. And it was the knife that was delivered here. I already have one of Paddy's knives that was gifted to me. So I was sitting here, and Laura helped me do a video. So I did the video. Laura said, "You should probably get yourself a new knife." But I already have a knife. You should probably get yourself another knife. All right, so I got the green light. So I just reached out to Paddy and said, "Paddy, I'm looking for." I gave him what I was looking for. And he came back near straight away with pictures of the blade types, the thickness. I said, yeah, but I don't know what it's called on the spine of the blade, the markings.
Yeah.
It's fairly Gucci looking. I want that. No problem. Another picture with the different mark. Okay, right, that one. I'll pick that one. What type of handle you want? Now, I want wood.
Yeah.
Right? Something Irish and tradition. Do you want... And he sent me a picture of a load of different ones. And I knew as soon as I seen it. And I said, yeah, the oak boar.
Yeah.
And he goes, he sent me back a message. I fucking knew you were going to pick that.
Yeah. It's savage.
Yeah.
It's savage.
With red liners and it'll look
Gucci, man. Yeah.
I'm actually going to change from a leather sheet that I normally have to a Kydex sheet.
Yeah.
Because, because the knife that we raffled off had a Kydex sheet, and I liked how it clicked in. It was nice and secure. Yeah, I've never had a knife with a Kydex sheet.
Yeah.
So I'm going to...
Very good. Can't wait to see it, man. And we have, I think, Fran's finishing off the other knife. He was a little bit unwell there for a while. So I think that's hopefully be finished this week. And we'll meet up with Aaron, the second winner, and present that to him.
Yeah.
And then we'll have to think about our next one.
Hopefully the raffles are going down. They seem to be going down a tree.
I think it's cool. It's giving people an opportunity to get stuff that maybe they might not thought was possible and stuff. So yeah.
Yeah, if people have any ideas of what they would like to be raffled. The only reason we raffled the knives was people came back and said knives.
Yeah.
So if there's a majority of people fancy, I don't know, a thermal.
Yeah. That might be an option, man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So send in messages if you want something particular raffled.
Absolutely. Right, we'll call that one.
Call that a day.
Over and out, buddy.
Over and out, buddy.